And perhaps the worst thing I can say about our current political situation, without naming names, and you know who I mean, is that we're not building for the future the way we should. You go, as I did, over to Athens and talk to the county commissioners there who are trying to build the roads to keep up with the people who are the overflow from BRAC. Did you know, I didn't know until I investigated it, that something like 43% of the people working at the Arsenal live outside Madison County? And they're having a hard time with those roads, bridges, not to mention hospitals, schools, and other support things. Preparing for the future means putting more emphasis on education, particularly in two areas I'll mention. One is the technical jobs. Did you know that we have jobs coming here with BRAC for whom we have no one to fill them right now? And don't we want our citizens here to be in a position to take those good-paying jobs? The other thing I want to mention about education is the way that it allows us to provide economic empowerment for the minority community and how important it is for Alabama A&M to be a part of that. Building for the future means having someone at the table so that we don't get another cut in the NASA budget, because don't kid yourself, Maryland wants it all, Texas wants it all, Florida wants it all, and they are behind their local areas to make sure that when the budget is drawn up every year, they get as big a piece of pie as they can. When you have a congressman who's not on a committee, or who is on a committee with 57 other people, and who has not got the ear of the administration, how much of the piece of the pie do you think we're going to get? You know, the great thing we're facing today, as I think Linda said, or Jenny said, is we've got good people. I like everyone here. I'm friends with everyone here and everyone in this room. So there are no enemies in this primary. That's right. So what I ask you to do is to look at us, consider simply not who do you like, because I hope you like every one of us, but who's going to beat Parker Griffith or Mo Brooks or Les Phillips in the fall and take us into the next decade, prepare for the future, for you, your families, your community, and this entire North Alabama area. I would vote in the past for quality, affordable health care. I would vote for it now, and I will vote for it in the future, because we owe that to our citizens. It's just that simple. And no bill, that's right. No bill is perfect. Many of the bills coming out of Congress are far from perfect, but we work with what we have, don't we? And we move forward. Now, one other thing I haven't heard anyone mention, and that's the advantage of going last, is I want you to think of how close the vote was. And I want you to think when Bud Kramer was in there, how he would have used that opportunity, and how your next congressman used that opportunity, not only on the subject at hand in the vote, but in talking to the leadership, you need my vote. What else can we talk about? Can we talk about Aries? Can we talk about TVA? I see, Ralph, you knew that in the legislature, didn't you? Absolutely. So it's not even just the question of would you vote for a health care plan, but what could you do for the district along with it? Because you're the national, part of the national party, but you're also this North Alabama congressman. What can you bring home for the people of North Alabama? Thank you. The Lilly Ledbetter bill, which passed overwhelmingly despite a no vote from our representatives in Alabama, at least the ones I know about, of course, the answer is yes. How could the answer be anything but yes? On the subject of equal rights, equal opportunities for all people, gay or otherwise, every other orientation or race or whatever otherwise, of course, again, the answer has to be yes. Every citizen should have the same opportunities, the same chance to live up to their potential, to enjoy the freedoms and the prosperity that we all work for. That's a no-brainer. Problem with abortion, the fight over it, ultimately ends up in the Supreme Court. But you want to know, and by the way, that's important because who you elect as president determines the next couple of justices. It affects it on down the line. But what you want to know is how would your congressman vote on something that would directly affect it, such as there has been a movement in Congress at times to prepare a constitutional amendment to try to affect what the Supreme Court is doing, just as in the state legislature right now, there is a movement to try to put an amendment in our state constitution to ban the health care law we're talking about, if you can imagine that. I could never support anything like that because I think we know what we need to do. And mostly it's the obstructionists and the naysayers in the other party that are going to try to attack these rights and these privileges. And your congressperson has to stand up with you to keep that from happening, whether you're in the majority right now or in the minority. You have to stand with the people, and that's what I will do with you. Thank you. You know, BRAC is the economic engine that's driving this area, along with what we already have here, and it's all about infrastructure, as Steve said. Give you a simple example. When we had a congressman on Transportation Committee, it was the right timing when a huge new national transportation bill was coming through. We had the opportunity to earmark up to $80 million for use in this area. Not all for Huntsville, but through this North Alabama area. And earmark means it goes where you need it. If you don't have that, which we lost when we lost a seat at the table on that committee, probably not $80 million, and whatever does go, goes down to Montgomery. Now raise your hand if you think that Bob Riley is going to send that money to Huntsville. And of course, that's just the beginning. You have roads, schools, hospitals. Getting the next round of BRAC to come here in full force is a lot like trying out for the Olympics. You have to prove that every facet of your support system can do the job. And we don't have enough right now, maybe to even support what we have coming. We definitely are not ready for the next round. Your congressman will have to fight every day to make sure we get there. And I'll remind you once again that in a way, this is a job application. You're casting for the role of beating the Republican in the fall and representing your district forcefully and energetically this year. I want to be your congressman. That's why I'm here. And I appreciate your support. But whoever wins the nomination, support them full tilt in November. Thank you.